What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, I'll be talking about 10 drivers you need to watch out for throughout the 2024 NASCAR season. So anyways, let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. The first driver we need to watch out for in 2024 is going to be Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson in 2023 had a really solid season, scoring 4 victories and was able to make it to the championship 4. But it also did have a lot of inconsistencies throughout the 2024 season. There's a lot of reasons why you need to watch out for him. Number one, Kyle Larson is actually going to be attempting to run the Indianapolis 500. He'll be attempting to do the Indy NASCAR double, where you run the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 on the same night. Kyle Larson, of course, has been having Indy tests recently, including at Phoenix not too long ago this past week. I think Kyle Larson has a really good chance to win the Indy 500 this year if he is able to make the event. The other reason is because Kyle Larson probably has the most cohesive organization and team currently in the Cup Series. He's got a really strong crew chief. He's probably the most talented driver in the field, or one of the most talented drivers in the field, and he's on one of the best organizations, that being Hendrick Motorsports. I think that Kyle Larson has a really strong chance and a really great opportunity to also potentially get his second championship. And if he can do that, he will only be the third driver in the Cup field that would have multiple championships at this moment, the other two being Joey Logano and Kyle Busch. I think that Kyle Larson definitely could lead Hendrick Motorsports to another championship, looking for their first championship since the 2021 season when, of course, he won the championship. I think Kyle Larson does have a really good chance and opportunity to do it, and he's definitely someone that you're going to 100% going to have to watch out for throughout the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series season. The second driver they need to watch out for throughout the 2024 season is going to be Kyle Busch. This, of course, is going to be the second year that Kyle Busch is going to be at Richard Childress Racing. Year number 1 for Kyle Busch at RCR, he got 3 victories, but that was only in the first 15 races of the season. In the second half of the year, Kyle Busch had a lot less top 10s, a lot less top 5s, and was a lot more inconsistent throughout the second half of the year. Now, Richard Childress Racing has made a lot of executive changes, and they made a lot of executive moves over the course of the offseason at this point. And Kyle Busch also has picked up a new sponsor this year, that being Zone Nicotine Pouches. I expect Kyle Busch to have a very solid year. Now, do I think he's going to win as many races in 2024 as he did in 2023? Probably not, to be honest. But it still expect Kyle Busch to be pretty consistent and pretty fast throughout the year. And I think, especially after a really strong start to the season at the Busch Light Clash, I think that Kyle Busch definitely will be one of the drivers that you'll have to watch out for and keep your eyes out on throughout the 2024 season, as he'll be looking to win more races and run for a championship this year. Because like I said, I think Kyle Busch could have a chance, an outside shot at winning the championship. He may not win as many races, but I think that A-team is going to be very, very consistent, really, really quick. And I think Kyle Busch, like I said, has a very good chance and a strong possibility of leaving himself to maybe getting his third championship in the Cup Series this year in the 2024 season. The third driver we should watch out for throughout the 2024 season is going to be Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott did not have a good year in 2023. He had the injury partway through the season and still, unfortunately, did not make the postseason, missed a ton of races, and of course, had his first winless season since the 2017 season. But I think Chase Elliott is recharged and ready to go for this year. I know the Busch Light Clash did not go well for him, but the Busch Light Clash is really not a major determination on who's going to be a championship threat and contender. I believe Chase Elliott does have a really good chance to have a massive bounce-back season. I think if anybody that really needs a bounce-back season who could have it, it is definitely a driver like Chase Elliott. And I think he does have a really strong chance to have that massive bounce-back season that he is really looking for. We know how strong the 9 team has been. He's working with one of the best crew chiefs, that being Alan Gustafson. He's got a new spotter this year, that being Trey Poole. That could lead Chase Elliott to having a very solid and good year overall with the Hendrick Motorsports group. He looks to have a much better season, and like I said, I think he does have a very prime opportunity here to lead Hendrick Motorsports to another championship as well. I expect Chase Elliott to be a big threat and big contender, and I think he does also have a really good chance to make the championship 4 in the 2024 season. The fourth driver you need to watch out for throughout the 2024 season is going to be Bubba Wallace. Now, Bubba Wallace did not win a race in 2023, but Bubba Wallace was able to make it to the round of 12 this past season and also had tied for the most top 10s he's had in a season, which of course is 10. And he also had the same amount of top 5s, which I think is around 7 or 8 last year. He was up front a lot more consistently, and that consistency carried throughout the regular season. I think Bubba Wallace has a really good chance and opportunity to win a lot of races this season, or at least get a few victories, because 23XI Racing, like I said, has made a lot of executive moves and a lot of major changes during this offseason, which could lead Bubba Wallace having a better year. I think he will have his first multi-win season in the NASCAR Cup Series because he has had 2 career wins up to this point and nearly won races last year in 2023. But I think he's going to be a lot more consistent, and I think that Bubba Wallace also will be able to lead himself and show a lot more improvement on a consistent basis. I think it won't just be competing for top 10s. I think he'll be competing for top 5s, and I think that number 23 team will have a very great opportunity to be competitive. So I expect Bubba Wallace to have a very strong and a really, really good season, and I think he definitely will be one of the drivers that you'll have to watch out for throughout this season. Maybe he gets his first road course win because he's shown a lot of improvement on road course as well. I think he will have a good chance and opportunity to do that this year. The fifth driver you should watch out for throughout the 2024 season is going to be Hailie Deegan. Hailie Deegan is moving up from the Truck Series up to the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2024 as she'll drive the number 15 car for AM Racing. Now, Hailie Deegan has made an Xfinity Series start, that of course being in 2022 when she drove the number 07 car for SS Greenlight Racing. Now, it's no secret that Hailie Deegan struggled immensely in the Truck Series over the course of the last few years. But I am holding out a little bit of hope that she could do a lot better in Xfinity. And I think she'll at least do a little bit better. Now, expectations have to be a little down because she isn't going to be driving for a top team like Stewart-Haas Racing. She is going to AM Racing. AM Racing is not the fastest organization in the world, and Brett Moffitt did have good runs, but was never up front on a consistent basis, but he still did pretty solid. There's also a lot of talk that Matt DiBenedetto was going to be her teammate as well. I expect Hailie Deegan to have a very, very good year. Well, not a very good year, but I expect her to show at least some improvement and at least a little bit more commitment to being up front consistently. I think by the end of the year, we need to see her having top 10s and top 15s, and luckily for her, I think she has a chance and an opportunity to do that. So we'll see how she ends up doing, and we'll see if Hailie Deegan can have a very solid and good year with AM Racing in 2024. I think she could. I think that she does have a chance as she does move up to the Xfinity Series season, which of course kicks off next week. I think she does have a chance to run really well this year. The sixth driver you should watch out for throughout the 2024 season is going to be Shane Van Gisbergen. Shane Van Gisbergen is going to have a very busy schedule in 2024. He is, of course, going to be driving full-time for Kaulig Racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series in the number 97 car, and is also going to be driving the number 16 car in Cup for 7 races as well, with a partnership from Trackhouse Racing. They'll build the cars for them. I expect Shane Van Gisbergen to struggle a little bit on ovals at the start of the season, but by the end of the year, he's going to be really strong on ovals. And also, I think that Shane Van Gisbergen is going to be a serious threat and contender on road courses throughout the year, not just in the Cup Series, but also in the Xfinity Series and Truck Series as well, because he's probably going to make some truck starts as well, and is also going to run the ARCA race at Daytona this upcoming week. I expect Shane Van Gisbergen to be very, very fast and very, very competitive throughout the year. And by the end of the year, I think he'll have an outside shot of potentially winning the championship with Kaulig Racing, though I don't think he's absolutely a massive favorite or a contender to do that. I expect Shane Van Gisbergen, like I said, to be very, very good. And again, I think that SVG will gel very well with Kaulig Racing this year, and I think it'll lead to himself getting some wins by the end of the year, potentially on an oval as well. I think Shane Van Gisbergen will be pretty quick and pretty fast throughout the 2024 season. You're going to have to watch out for him, definitely, for sure. The 7 drivers you should watch out for throughout the 2024 season is going to be Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain had an up and down year in 2023. He scored 2 victories, but also was way more consistent in 2023 than he was in 2022. He unfortunately got eliminated in the round of 12, whereas in 2022, he got eliminated in the round of 4 at the championship because he finished second. I think a big reason we got to watch out for him is because he got some new sponsors coming in. He's got Wendy's, I think, working with that team this year. And also Busch Beer will sponsor Ross Chastain for 18 races throughout the 2024 season. So I expect Ross Chastain to also be a championship threat because historically the driver goes on to win. The final race of the year, the previous year that wasn't the champion, they go on to have a very strong season. Circa Carl Edwards, who was able to go out there from 2010 to 2011, he was really strong at the end of the year in 2010 and went on to be almost a championship threat and nearly won the title with Tony Stewart just beating him in a tiebreaker with him getting more victories. I expect Ross Chastain and this number 1 team to be very solid and very, very quick. And I think that Ross Chastain and the 1 team and Trackhouse look to show a lot of improvement. And I think that they'll have a good opportunity to do that in the 2024 year. The 8th driver you should watch out for throughout the 2024 NASCAR season is going to be Chandler Smith. Chandler Smith has left Kaulig Racing after BFM in 2023 and will join Joe Gibbs Racing in 2024 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series driving the number 81 car. He also will be the reserve driver for Joe Gibbs Racing for any of their Cup Series drivers in 2024 if one of their drivers unfortunately ends up getting hurt. I expect Chandler Smith to be one of the favorites for the championship in Xfinity because Chandler Smith is going to be in better equipment. It's no disrespect to Kaulig Racing, but Joe Gibbs Racing does have better equipment than Kaulig, and they are top of the line and top of the class. And I think that's going to lead to Chandler Smith and this number 81 team being pretty competitive throughout the season. I expect Chandler Smith to be one of the Final Four contenders, making the Final Four at the end of the season. And I also do expect that Chandler Smith will be able to win at least 4 or 5 NASCAR Xfinity Series races, and maybe even more if the 81 team can gel and work together like they have done in the past. Again, I expect Chandler Smith to be very, very good this year because we've seen the speed of the number 81 car, which was the 18 car last year, which was almost a 20 car, by the way. And I think that Chandler Smith will be very, very competitive and very, very fast throughout the 2024 season. So we'll see what Chandler Smith can do and will be able to accomplish with the organization this season. But I do believe and expect that Chandler Smith will be very, very consistent. And I think he'll be able to make the Final Four and win a lot of races throughout the 2024 NASCAR Xfinity Series season. The 9th driver to watch out for throughout the 2024 NASCAR season is going to be Corey Heim. Corey Heim is going to be very, very busy this year. He's going to be back with Tricon Garage and the number 11 team. He's going to be making select starts with Sam Hunt Racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. His first start coming at Las Vegas. And also, of course, he is going to be the reserve driver for 2311 Racing and Legacy Motor Club. He'll get to work with drivers like Bubba Wallace, Kurt Busch, Michael Jordan at times this year, Tyler Reddick. He'll also get to work, of course, and get help from Denny Hamlin and advice. He'll maybe get to work Carl Edwards at some point, perhaps. And he'll get to work with a lot of teams and organizations. So he's going to be busy in the Cup Series and also doing simulator work with Legacy Motor Club as well. And I also do expect that Corey Heim will be a massive championship contender and threat for the Truck Series. I think he's going to win 4 or 5 truck races minimum at least. And I think that he'll be a guy who is the most consistent in the Truck Series throughout the year. We know how good Corey Heim has been. We know how much he's done with the organizations he's been with in the past. He was really great with KBM in his first year with Tricon Garage. He probably should have won the championship because he had like 19 top 10s and only had 3 finishes outside the top 10 last season. I think Corey Heim will be very, very good, and I think that's will lead to him being a massive contender and championship threat throughout 2024. And he might also at some point make his NASCAR Cup Series debut this year with Tricon Garage, which I think will be really good for everybody and all the parties that are involved with the Tricon organization. And a 10th and final driver I think you should watch out for throughout the 2024 NASCAR season is going to be Sheldon Creed. Sheldon Creed is moving away from Richard Childress Racing this season and is going to be joining Joe Gibbs Racing in 2024. We know how really, really good Sheldon Creed was at RCR, but he wasn't absolutely amazing. He was a very, very consistent driver, though, and nearly made it to the championship 4, but also made a lot of mistakes on the racetrack. The expectations for Sheldon Creed in 2024 is that he will be someone that needs to really step up this year, because I don't think a lot of people are going to be making a ton of excuses for him, especially with the fact that Sheldon Creed is in a better car, supposedly. Even though RCR was a pretty solid Xfinity Series team, Joe Gibbs Racing is a better team. He is going to be expected to win some races and is going to be expected to be a contender. And I do believe that Sheldon Creed has the capabilities of doing that. I think minimum this year in 2024, he needs to win at least 3, maybe 2 to 3 races. And if he really wants to make it even have a chance of going cup racing potentially in 2025, he needs to win probably at least 4 or 5 races. I think he's got a chance and an opportunity to do that, and I think it could lead him having a very solid and really, really good year. So I think Sheldon Creed will be very, very good, and I think that he'll have a chance to do it. And I think he's 100% a driver you need to watch out for throughout the 2024 NASCAR Xfinity Series season with Joe Gibbs Racing. So that is 10 drivers you need to watch out for in 2024. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Find me Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as for a page as well. Link description below that and comment your thoughts below on today's video. What drivers are you watching out for throughout 2024? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll have another one of these videos dropping over the weekend for 10 more drivers you need to watch out for. I'll have the Truck Series driver lineup video dropping as well. I might have my early 2025 NASCAR silly season predictions dropping as well. And in general, I've got a lot of great content dropping as we get really close. There might be a NASCAR preview dropping perhaps. There might be Xfinity Series preview dropping. In general, I got a lot of content dropping over the weekend that I cannot wait for you guys to check out. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.